no one knows. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. We're going down. Do you dare to follow me down? Head into the unknown.
Hello, everybody. How's it going today? It's like a Monday here in BC because we had, I think it's actually a national holiday. We call it Heritage Day out here in the West. Not sure about the East Coast, but my ears are, like, I don't know, like when you're going up in a plane. My ears are like muffled, and it just happened like 20 minutes ago, and I cannot for the life of me to sort that out. But anyway, happy to be here. I've had so many messages from people wondering how I'm doing, if we're safe from the wildfire in BC, and I plan to show you exactly what's going on, what the situation is, because we are safe here on the mountain. We are quite a ways away. I mean, relatively speaking, from the fire that started in the Vernon area. I do have family that has been evacuated and they've been displaced from their homes. So the weekend was quite stressful and busy, and but everybody is safe. All the pets are safe. Can't say that for every family in the area, but for now, let's just say hello to everybody. And Sarah has been busy posting these amazing links that she always posts. Thank you for that, Sarah, and welcome in. Thank you for being here. And Kimberly, good to see you. And I did gift out 5 memberships earlier, so if you got one of those, congratulations. We'll see you in the next Members Only Live. And also, just to let you know, you don't have to be bothered with the slow mode. When we put slow mode on chat, you can you won't be required to stick to those time limits. So there's a perk to it, even if it's not just the members' lives, but there is definitely a perk to having a membership. Nessa, good to see you. Hey, Tam. Sesame, playing chauffeur for your teenagers. That's awesome. Thank you for listening in. And hey, Jesse, Cindy Clark, good to see you. This is going to be really annoying, you guys. Like, I feel like I've got water in my ear, but I don't. It's going to be really annoying because my voice is like muffled in my head. So I set a timer. I get going in the garden and I time lapse every time and usually end up replay. I'm glad you set a timer. Hey, Gren. You are welcome. Hey, Camille. Hey, good to see you too. Helicopter. I will be late coming in, sending love and light. Thank you for saying that, and hopefully you made it back. Congratulations to everybody that received the membership. You bet. Hey, Diesel Weasel. Good to see you. And, oh, there she is. She's back. Helicopter. Yes, ma'am. Good to see you. Hey, Carrie Bailey. Was trying to chat with some of y'all on AB last night. Apparently my comments don't show up in the lives. Wonder why. And oh, helicopter, thank you for my next ice cap. I appreciate that very much. Cheryl, good to see you. Sing Birdie, hello. Michelle James, how's it going? Thanks for being here. And Nana, good to see you. Hey, Ernestine, are you windy today? Boots on the ground, awesome to have you here. Thank you for joining. And Bobby Joe, hello. This is terrible. TJ's mom, hello. Oh, you guys didn't have a holiday? That's background. I've got a few tabs open, but that's it. Let me know. I'm so sorry, you guys. Hopefully it smartens up. I think we had a couple of really good windstorms, and I think our satellite may have moved a little bit. So, anyways, Mattis Catter, good to see you today. I'm sorry that it's buffering, you guys. It's so frustrating for me. Melissa, good to see you. Julie, hello. Do not do it. Hello. If you got them, so first you have to make sure you turn on gifting, your gifts, and I believe it's at the top. And then if you do get a gifted membership, you should get an email, but then your name will come up green. Lacey Frankie, good to see you. And there's Catter, Ernestine. Who else? Anastasia, I think I said that. No Mercy, Rob, hello, good to see you. And Damien. I do have gum. Am I still buffering? I'm sorry. Sorry. There's nothing I can do. For now, I'm gonna just pull up I'm not going to put my address up, but I am going to pull up a map of the area. It doesn't show like the fires per se, but just where the fire was last. I can give you a really good idea. You had a civic holiday in Ontario. Good to know. Good to see. See, that made it worse. I've done that. Ugh. I don't know. We'll get through it. We'll get through it, you guys. Health battle. I hope you're okay, Jane. I haven't been live for a number of days, so you haven't missed anything here. I don't know what's going on any other channels, but I'm glad you're here, and I do hope that everything's okay with you. Hair dryer helps. Warm oil, like baby oil. I'll have to try all of that. This just happened. So, okay. Anyway, I was gonna pull something up. There we go. This here. So basically, you guys. So where I am, we're considered to be in Salmon Arm, but in reality, drive time, we are closer to Enderby. And Enderby is about 13 clicks from Armstrong. And the fire right now, it started in Vernon. Can you all see that? It started in Vernon, which is down here. Started here in Vernon on the west side of the lake over here. Okay, and it grew relatively quickly. So pretty much all of this area is evacuated now. Well, from about over here all the way up to in this area. It's starting now to move more towards this Glenema or Yankee Flats. It's not all the way up there, don't get me wrong, but it's going in that direction now, just outside of this Armstrong. So the closest spot on this map to where we are is Grenrod. So you can see here, it's a little more than a 22-minute drive from where we are. So we are pretty safe as it is now. This is the first day since Saturday that our skies are blue. So that tells me that the wind changed direction. And all we can hope is that it turned back around and is heading back towards the Okanagan Lake. So this here is the Okanagan Lake. This is not the Shuswap where I live. The Shuswap Lake is up here. And so Ian and I are Grinrod. So we're right up about here. So Granby Bench, Ranchero, all that area, we're kind of right in the middle on the top of a mountain here. So we're a ways away from the danger zone still. So we're good. A lot of people aren't. So keep them in your prayers and your thoughts. And, you know, a lot of people stepped up and band together to get livestock to safety. There is a lot of wildlife. When you start really thinking about it and looking into it, it is very heartbreaking. There are so many homes that are being threatened, if not already lost. And people, they have horses, they have cows, they have chickens. There was kind of a scramble because it grew quick. And this fire started with an ATV accident. From what I understand, a man lost his life on an ATV. And yeah, so it's very sad. Is it Canoe? That's where I used to live, right on the lake. So Canoe is probably between Salmon Arm and Sicamous. There's a beach here, and that's Canoe Beach. And if you guys remember when I used to do lives with Sunny, I lived right on the beach there. So we're quite a ways away from that as well. So having said that, all of my best thoughts go out to anybody who's lost anything or been displaced, because I do remember when there were fires in Alberta a few years back and we were all evacuated for 3 weeks. It was pretty stressful, and it was tough to make sure everybody's pets got out, and hotels, everybody stepped up and they started offering rooms. Even hotels that don't allow pets started letting people in with their pets and stuff. So a lot of this is dependent on the goodness of humanity. And, you know, I think time and again we see, no matter what the situation, communities they'll band together to help those in need, which, you know, we can look at Parker's case here in a little bit too. So you were in Kamloops last year and then Vernon. So yeah, Kamloops also has a fairly big fire going on close to them. I mean, there is I could pull up a map of BC, like this is what we call the interior of BC. And there are a lot of fires even down towards where Sunny lives. In this area here, there are also fires. So from what I understand, this is one of the worst years they've had in recent history. So yeah, it is next level when you see videos of wildlife running like for safety, and because it went fast. And like I said, we don't get super windy days, and then all of a sudden, like when the fires are like that, it kind of creates their own weather system, and we had so much wind and it was terrible. Yeah, so anyways, like I want to move on, but I just wanted everybody to get a better idea for like it, because everybody, you know, you hear about all these fires in BC, and you know people in BC, and you know me, and so you're thinking, oh my gosh, I hope Charmaine's okay. And I know that I haven't been, you know, responding to people, so that added to the worry, and I never intended for that to be the case. So I just wanted to let everybody know we're a fair ways away from any danger zone, and my family is safe now on the other side of Vernon. And like I said, hope for the best for everybody else. And of course, our doors are open for anybody that has been displaced or needs a place to go. We can accommodate a number of people with their animals. So hopefully the word gets out. The whole community's here for everybody that needs us. So, all right. Anyways, any questions about that? What did my thumbnail say today, you guys? Okay, let's start with Jack and Lilly. We've been starting over right fresh from the beginning, and then as we're doing that, certain things come up, and we talked about Malia's car not having a license plate on it, even though they went to the DMV on Wednesday to get a plate, and that is in the court documents, that the reason they went to the DMV was to get a plate, not a temporary sticker. I just want to put that out there. I still wonder, where's that plate? Because, I mean, in reality, in my mind, even if I am a lazy whatever and I have a plate for my car, before I drive it again, I am obviously going to put that plate on my car. That just makes sense to me. I don't know. But listening, and I have not been watching or participating in any chats, but sometimes at night, pretty much every night, Hidden in the Fog is on. Every single night, Susan, she'll do a live stream and they talk about whatever, and people go up on panel and whatever, whatnot, and conversations happen. And she did have Belinda on the other night. Can't remember exactly what night that was, but I always have it on like in the background. I'm just listening, right? And I thought I heard something, and it wasn't given the attention that I feel like it should have been, because I had no idea that this happened. So there was a spot where the HRD dogs hit, and after a certain amount of time, and law enforcement and the searchers didn't go and check that spot, it was, I guess, and I have to clarify, but Belinda asked somebody with major crimes if she could go and check there, to dig there. And I'm pretty sure on Susan's, Belinda said that she did go out there and she did dig with major crimes blessing. To me, and I did verify that I did hear that. I did talk to Belinda and I did hear that, but I want to dig into that a little bit more. And so I have invited Belinda on for a conversation about that and other things to do with Jack and Lily's case. And I'm hoping for that to happen tomorrow. But just spitballing here, you guys, what are your thoughts on that? That major crimes gave their blessing for Belinda, the paternal grandmother, to go out and dig at a spot where the HRD dogs hit. What if she had found something? And did they already dig it up? Like, did they already check that area and determine there was nothing there? And it was just a matter of putting Belinda's mind at ease to say, go check it out if you want. Is that what happened? And that's what I want to talk to Belinda about. And keep in mind, this was something that obviously I heard, took a mental note of it, and then with life and everything that's been going on the last couple of days, it didn't even occur to me to ask Belinda until this morning. And so I have verified that I did hear what I thought I heard, but now we're going to dig into that. And so I'm going to spend the rest of the time after this live stream catching up a little bit on what I have missed. And then, like I said, hopefully tomorrow we can have Belinda on and dig in a lot more thoroughly to that, because what do you think? What do you think about that? I mean, I don't know. Did anybody else hear that? And from what I understand, I think Susan, Hidden in the Fog, is going to be releasing a video with that. You know, she's been doing these videos, I guess, on the Jack and Lilly case and releasing them on YouTube, but her live streams are usually done on TikTok. And TikTok live streams, I don't think you can replay them. I'm not overly familiar, so there's no way to go back, but I guess probably Susan has them recorded and she's going to make a video with that information in it. So hopefully she's able to do that before I bring Belinda on, because I'm not trying to like scoop anything or anything like that, but I do feel like it wasn't, I don't know. I have questions. I have so many questions about that. And what message does that give you guys if it's entirely accurate? Major crimes is allowing the grandmother to go out and dig in a spot where the HRD dogs hit. Like I said, did they already check there? How did they determine that it was safe for her to dig there? Or did they? I don't know. It's important. It's kind of big news in my opinion. And when did this happen? From my understanding, it was after the last Please Bring Me Home search. So after May of this year. I don't know. This doesn't sound right. How's it going? Universal. And Brian, hey. Bonnie, good to see you. They wanted to put her mind at ease, and also there could have been a chance. Doesn't make me feel great about the thoroughness of the investigation. Unless they checked there already, saying Birdie. And did Belinda just not believe them or take their word, or did they just say it was checked? If you don't believe me, go check yourself. Is that kind of the way it went down? We need to talk to Belinda. We need to talk to Belinda about this, because it's a big deal. To me, letting a grandmother dig where HRD dogs hit. Belinda believes, thank you for being here. Very weird. I agree. Anastasia. What? Who? If you're talking about Belinda, she's doing okay. I'd first dig in the property's history. It's a church. Churches have graveyards. True? Well, I want to know exactly where it was, which is another thing, you know what I mean, Gren? I'm going to talk to Belinda. Let's find out exactly where it was, and then we can do stuff like that. We absolutely can. And we have people, local people, who would be interested in going out there and checking it out. Maybe get some pictures of the area so we know exactly what we're talking about. Janie, this is what I'm talking about. They should have been doing it. Maybe they did, but we don't know. But poor Belinda, what if she had found something? Or Malaya, for that matter. She's been out searching. Are they telling her the same thing? Honestly, Lord help the individual who finds something in a situation like that. It's not good. Are you Mike or Mikkel? From Winnipeg, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Sounds typical for around here. Really? That's disturbing to infinity. Hey, Lori Green. Susan's series is definitely worth watching. I'm not going to lie, I am behind on the series, but I have been enjoying what I've seen so far. You know, life seems to happen. Sue Oilers, hello. And who else? Just looking. The major crimes in RCMB have done has made me shake my head. I think the police knows a lot more than they are saying. I mean, they have to. Bonnie, I think there's very little chance that they don't. JB, good to see you. I know if anything is found, we are supposed to stop digging and call it in. But if it was okay, so I get that, and that's a good rule of thumb. But if it's a place where the HRD dogs hit, tell me, please tell me that was already checked. And how was it checked? Ground penetrating radar or something else? Was the ground disturbed before the hit? Or do you know what I mean? There's questions. And these questions, I don't think Belinda can answer, because she wasn't there when the HRD dogs hit and what the response to that was. And those are where my questions are. So we will settle for Belinda's information, hopefully some pictures, and we'll figure it out. Because it's crazy to me. Sue Oilers with your jewels. Thank you for that. Silver Star, love that. We need to get the Calgary Police Service on the Nova Scotia RCMP. Yeah. I'm sure the Calgary Police appreciates all the kudos, but could you imagine going to the, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but going to the Nova Scotia RCMP saying, you know what, you take a lesson or two from Calgary City Police You know, they're not federal, they're municipal police service, but they seem to know how to do a missing persons investigation because Parker didn't take over a year to find. I think that, I don't think that would be received well. Good. The police can't stop anyone. They're not going to tell anyone not to. It's private property. That's not the point, Lori. The point is the HRD dogs hit on a spot. So yeah, no, they cannot stop anybody. But at the same time, Belinda asked them and they told her to go out and do it herself. So it's a little different than just having a hunch. HRD dogs hit in that spot. She will know if the ground had been disturbed previously. Yes, Colburn. And those are questions that we will ask Belinda. So with that in mind, knowing that Belinda's going to be on in the next couple of days, get your questions ready, right? With this situation and anything else that you've heard, get your respectful questions ready. And I'm sure Belinda won't shy away from anything. How did anyone learn about the HRD hit? I have not heard that at all. Same. I have questions. No clue, Melissa. No clue. No disrespect, but any family members that go digging or searching know they could come across anything. It's personal choice. Fair enough. Fair enough. And is that what's going on here? Like Major Crime's just saying, you know what? If you don't believe we've checked good enough, go look yourself. Is that what we're seeing here? I don't know. Salt Springs Church over by where the kids went to school. Is that where it was? Strawberry wine. Breaks my heart for Belinda. She's the only one that seems to care if these babies are found. It definitely wouldn't be good. I would be worried that false hope is being given for one reason or another. But hearing that information is definitely interesting. And like I said, before we run with it and put our own spin to it, I just wanted to give you guys the information, but that we're going to get clarifying information from Belinda herself, like so hopefully with some pictures, and I will spend time digging into where the spot was, obviously with Belinda, and if there's any information that we can find that it was already checked by search and rescue or law enforcement, you know what I mean? Like if it had anything to do with the heat signatures, that's a double whammy, but I don't think so. And I know that we heard that the HRD dogs did hit on an area. Is this the same area? A person can be charged with tampering with evidence if findings aren't reported. That's the main reason I turn everything in. Everybody should be turning everything in. And in my opinion, the way law enforcement keeps everything so close to the vest in this case, once it's turned over, I think that the RCMP should take anything of interest, even if they don't think it's got anything to do with it, just take it and do what you need to do. But it's not the public's business what you do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like anything turned in, I think, is of interest as long as it's relevant. But then, no different than the blanket. We're still talking about that fucking blanket. We have no idea if it's relevant or not. You know what I'm saying? And the RCMP certainly aren't going to tell us, or Major Crimes. Belinda said it on Hidden in the Fog. Hidden in the Fog. And it was just on in the background. So I thought I heard it, but I wasn't sure. But I was waiting for Susan to come back because she took a little break. And I was waiting for Susan to come back and question Belinda more on it. And that never really happened. You know, from my memory, she just kind of ended up ending the live stream. So, but that I believe she had said that she was going to put out a standalone video about that subject. So I'm hoping she does that first because Belinda told her that. So then this morning when I was thinking about it, I reached out to Belinda and said, hey, did I really hear this? And then when she confirmed that I heard what I heard, I said, would you be willing to come on and talk about it on my channel, and she said sure. So who knows what wasn't there. It's been over a year. The drone, exactly, especially if it was spoken about on YouTube before anyone else got there, could have been moved as well. RCMP, or Major Crimes, could at least release the footage of the Dollarama. Let us see what the children was wearing, also what Malaya and Daniel were wearing. Maybe do forensic on Malaya and Daniel's clothing. Well, releasing any bit of that video wouldn't accomplish any forensic, except for we home sleuths. We could go through it, but it either has evidentiary value or it doesn't. And I think that there's still so many questions about what the kids were actually wearing, and Malaya said that she put the kids to bed before, or wearing the same clothes that they had on. And in the morning, when they discovered the children missing, there was no talk of their clothes being in piles on the floor in the bedroom. So it didn't look like they had changed their clothes. What they were last seen wearing, 1 + 1, would have been what they were wearing on that CCTV video. And so even if just the law enforcement came out and said this is what they were wearing in that CCTV video, that would be one thing. Even better if we got a still shot of that video. But we're getting nothing. So it tells me, I think it's important to the investigation, or an aspect of the investigation. Tom, interesting to see here. I'm wondering, and just a quick, I'm going to veer off here just for half a second. So you were Barb, and you were the one that I made that deal with, that bet with. So are you shenanigans? Or, because Tom, you were also in chat when I was talking about putting that clip in context and everything, and you didn't vote on whether I should pay or not. You didn't have much of a say, even though you were Barb, the person who I actually made that bet with. So just wondering. Where did you hear the dog was HR trained? That all came from Belinda Gren this morning. So, one dog. Do you know this? Deline, not Salt Springs Church on Laird Road. Do you know where this was? I have no idea. I didn't have a lot of time to talk to Belinda this morning, but do you, any idea? No, it came from Belinda, and she did have people with her, and I know who those people are. So again, it's just a matter of digging through, verifying, and then pulling them up on here and talking about it. Prayers for Darius, absolutely. No, do not do it the way I understood it. They had shovels out there. That's right. I would hope so. And I've asked for the pictures and video or whatever, even if they don't want me to show it. Even if they don't want me to show it, if I see it for my own eyes, then I'm more comfortable talking about it. Yeah, I remember that too. Quote of the day, I do not regret, continue doing the right thing. There's definitely some bullshit going on over a year already. I agree. Agreed. Is that why they're keeping it from us? Oh, good. Monsters, good to see you. Budettes, hey. Hey, Captain Injustice, good to see you. Ninchi compiled all the stories on video about the pink blanket. The stories would blow your mind. Front rails, back rail, top piece ripped, bottom piece ripped, and on and on. Yeah, I got that. And then Mike MX pointed something out as well. Very interesting stuff, but are we more interested in who might have put that blanket in the tree than we are of what and where Jack and Lilly are? I'm not. I gave up on that blanket months ago. But I mean, if you guys want to talk about it, we can talk about it, whatever. Where'd Tom go? I don't know. It was just a question. Just asking. Oh, okay. So you want me to say it again? Okay, I will. So, Tom, you were Barb. Barb is the one that I made that bet with about Sunny making $3,400 off of YouTube. And I put it all into context that day. And you were in my chat that day, Tom. You weren't Barb anymore, but you were Tom. You were Barb before this. And so anyways, when I said, do I pay, do I not pay, you didn't cast a vote. I'm just wondering, are you Shenanigans? Since Shenanigans asked me to pay Please Bring Me Home in her name. So I assumed Barb was Shenanigans, and that happens to be you. So I'm asking you if you're Shenanigans. And if not, I'm just confused how Shenanigans got the idea that I had to pay her or who she chose on a bet that I made with this person named Barb, who is actually you. So let me know if your head is spinning as much as mine is. It's extremely confusing why MCU would say go ahead. It's very weird. Yeah, and I want to know from Belinda how that all came about, how she knew exactly where the area was, what she was told, if she's the one that asked, can I go out there and dig? If she was told they already searched the area. I want to know. I have questions, and I think it's important to sort it out. I'm sure the police and first search team are trained to notice disturbed ground. Yep. And I did ask her that question. So the blanket, Budettes, thank you for saying that. File 13, no use or help. The blanket, we just need to find the children or shake the apple tree. Oh no, I'm not Shenanigans. I don't remember, but it was proven Sunny did say that. She never made $3,400 off of YouTube. It was taken out of context, Tom. But you are Barb, and that's the person that I made the bet with. And you just didn't speak up when Shenanigans said that I needed to pay Please Bring Me Home instead of her. So I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but you don't think it exists? That's interesting, Budettes. What makes you say that? It's in the police. Interesting. Tell me why you think that, Budettes. It is. It's absolutely in the docs, but that's what I'm saying. The documents were judicial applications for search warrants, right? So it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, truthful to the best of their knowledge and ability at that particular time. But ever since then, even now, they still say they were last seen on CCTV video. So that's interesting, Budettes. don't know if they're allowed to lie. I think there's a difference between lying, like completely making shit up, to withholding certain information. I don't know. I'm the same way with everything. I'm the same way. Blind faith has never been my strong suit. Budettes, why would they lie that they seen them there, and Daniel and Malaya say they were there, and Daniel's workmate saw them there, right? I don't know. But that's the point. I want to know from Belinda, did you ask them if you could go and dig? Like physically take shovels out there and dig it up? I want to know that. That matters. Context matters. I don't think they owe us that video footage. Not if it's going to help them figure out what happened to Jack and Lilly and hold whoever is responsible accountable for that. Keep it. Sit on it for as long as you need to. As long as it's useful and it's going to help. Yes, Charmaine, the police wouldn't have to be specific, but they do have to be truthful in the document papers. Sorry. Yeah. My brother is an officer, RCMP. I'm not bashing, but my gut says something is wrong there. I agree, but it's just not quite right. There's something going on there. I shouldn't say that. There's something weird going on. I mean, I think we can all agree that this isn't your typical missing persons investigation. It's not even your typical missing persons act investigation. The police telling her to go dig and not going themselves to check the area is odd unless they don't believe the kids are in the woods, or they already checked. We don't know. Just tell me why Shenanigans said that I should pay her, or please bring me home for her. Explain that to me, Tom. I'm not convinced the children in the CCTV video are Jack and Lilly. And is it a coincidence that Jordan Getty's ex-girlfriend's kids look similar according to Jordan Getty's and Daniel Martel? I don't know. Daniel has asked police for that video of the kids and they say no. He's said, yeah, no, they won't even show Daniel. Allegedly, they won't even show Daniel because it's part of the investigation. And you have to know that whatever information that video holds is more important than sharing with the public what they were likely last seen wearing. What they were likely wearing when they disappeared. Whatever's on that video is more important than the public knowing what they were last wearing. Right? Or am I reading that wrong? Maybe I'm reading into it, I don't know. If the police told Belinda not to dig it, it would be a crime in people's eyes because they said to dig, it's a crime. Okay. They aren't going to show Daniel the video. He's supposed to know what they had on. How? I know this isn't me defending Daniel, but I don't think it was Daniel that put them to bed. I think that it was Daniel who early on claimed to have seen Lily in the morning wearing a pink shirt of some kind. But it wasn't Daniel that put them to bed wearing their clothes. And when he checked on them at midnight, remember, Camille, he flipped on the light, but they had the covers all the way up. So he didn't see what they were wearing, allegedly. It's all a bit much, really. Do the documents say everyone passed the lie detector? So I want to say that the way it's written matters. Words matter to me. They really do. And I know that people are going to say that it's semantics. Could have been a different person writing the report, maybe. But when most of them in the documents, the words say something like, so-and-so was truthful when answering redacted section, right? So we don't have all of the questions that they were asked, none of that. But then Cody's, and I want to say also Wade's, said were truthful and passed when answering, were truthful and passed, not when answering. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's nothing, but maybe not. The only reason I brought it up, Tom, is because you were previously Barb, who's the one who made the comment, who inspired the bet. And we're also in the live stream where I was clearing up the out of context clip that was played that brought on that bet, that I had to pay shenanigans, or please bring me home for shenanigans, even though it was you that I made the bet with. So that led me to believe that you are shenanigans. If it's not, it's not. I don't care either way. But I'm just saying, you were there. And if it wasn't that, you should have spoke up at the time. Just saying. They're both really good-looking children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store, everyone. Little Miss Sober, yep. A witness said they saw Jack and Lilly, Daniel and Malaya at Jordan's house the day before. Jordan said those were his girlfriend's kids. Right. And that witness has since said that they don't even know if that was Jordan at the house. It could have been Jordan's brother, who I believe lived there at the same time, and weren't positive that it was what they thought it was. So nobody ever confirmed that. In fact, everybody denied that. So did they ever describe what they were wearing in the video? Never. Nobody's said boo. The video might have something else on it they don't want released. I think that's a fair assumption. If the Major Crimes Unit had said, we received the tip and we are following up on it, that would sound a lot like other tips they have. I've never heard a police force telling a civilian it's okay to dig up. Weird. Malaya put them to bed that night. I believe that's the norm. Personally, I think there's a bug deal made out of this. If you want to dig, you do it. Nobody needs to tell the public. Kind of foolish in this community, though. Of course they're going to tell the public eventually. You have no idea if they ever made it to bed, right? We don't. The documents say truthful and some say past. Truthful when answering redacted section, or past. To me, they're two different things. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's not forget the lie detector is used as a stress detector. Okay, Tom. When Malaya asked, do you hear the kids? His answer should have been, didn't they go to school? Right? We talked about that the other day. Like, what's the big deal if the kids were supposed to be in school? If Malaya asked him, do you hear the kids? Daniel would have been like, should I? Aren't they at school? Or vice versa. Why would Daniel wake up and say, do you hear the kids? He should have been saying, why aren't you awake? Why aren't the kids going to school? What's going on? Something. I don't know. That was a thing we talked about the other day. I think some failed DRCMP said passed and are just waiting to have everything they need for a slam dunk charge. One can hope. I also heard that Cody took the kids, which is hard to believe. Where did he take them? The police were at his house at 3 o'clock in the morning that morning. Cody didn't do it. Daleen, we are now a year and 3 months down the line. They can't stop family members from searching or digging. You should know that. They can't stop anybody from doing anything on public land. But, Lori, if you don't understand where we're coming from, you never will. But for major crimes, to tell the paternal grandmother that it's okay to go dig where the HRD dogs hit, what if she found something? It's not that they were telling her to go out and do their job. It wasn't that they were, their job is to protect her or anything like that. But to tell a civilian or a family member to go ahead and dig where the HRD dogs hit, it just even sounds bad without even knowing if they searched the area or not, or already dug it up and found nothing. Like, that's why I want to talk to Belinda. Did they tell her, we already checked it, there's nothing there. If you don't believe us, go check yourself. If that's the case, different story. Do you guys hear Harley? Daniel said if someone offered Jack and Lilly snacks or water, they would go with them. What? No stranger danger. And Daniel had told me that his older children were actively trying to teach Jack and Lilly more about stranger danger, and that they couldn't just talk to everybody all the time. It's also not used in court. It's a tool. It's an investigative tool. He says he never has. Not once. Never met Jack and Lilly. Never met Malaya. Hadn't talked to Daniel in a few years until after the children went missing. He reached out to say, hey man, I see you. I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything. And they kind of reconnected at that point after the children went missing. I think what she is saying, they didn't seem too concerned or interested in following up on it, right? And that's why we need to clarify that with Belinda. The questions she asked them, and their responses to those questions are also going to be pretty important. Truthful to direct questions. Budette, would it make sense if somebody wanted to implicate Mr. Ward? They're the bus driver. Just in my opinion, maybe they want to point the finger. And if something was found in the schoolyard of the... I can't find your next one. I'll have to catch it. Those words mean something. I agree. That's not the point, Lori. The HRD dogs hit in this spot. Oh my gosh. Try to keep up, okay? I meant other persons of interest on the video, Shar. Yeah, exactly. We have no idea what they know and what they found. But for them to say that the children were not abducted, then I think safe to assume that they weren't followed or stalked around there. You know what I mean? Because if they had been abducted, you would think the police would be all over that. We have reason to believe, blah. We need to, broaden our search. Blah. Something, but nothing. But if the bus driver doesn't even live out there, anyone could have been around the property he has out there. I don't know how you guys switched over to the bus driver talk. It's best Belinda asked to do a dig. It could appear odd if she didn't. Is Shenanigans channel done? I have no idea. Not a clue. Doubtful Cody has the kids. Agreed. It might look like he's connected to the school, so I don't know. It's just a thought. Something is so screwed up here. It's like so many people keep trying to make you look a different way, but the same thing for me, full circle, I've gone and it's right back. No mother would move unless she knew those children were not coming back. And a story, and Daniel, your wife, of course, he's implicated too, and a whole bunch of others. I do have to finish watching later. Okay, do not do it too. See you later. You're just gonna say it that blanket in the tree rules out a stranger abduction. That's it. Your wife, of course, he's implicated too, and a whole bunch of others. Just read that one. I'm just assuming, but Belinda may be relieved the horror story is over and she would be traumatized with PTSD for a long while. Not sure. Shannon claims she is leaving ZooTube. Tammy, thank you for the jewels. That's very sweet. Appreciate you. This is not the only community that has so many secrets. If one person is named, the whole community clams up. Why? Joe Neal. Captain Obvious is here. Polygraphs are not admissible in court. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Joe. Bet he wished he never did, with him being thrown under the bus every second day. Angelina, good to see you. Love and light prayers to you too. Belinda said it looked like it had been dug up before. Perhaps the police dug it up before and have the proof a human had been buried there before. Maybe, but I don't think that they would let, if that was if something had been found there, then it would be part of a crime scene. Even if it was just a disposal site but something connected to a criminal investigation, it would be protected as part of the crime scene. I don't think that's the case. But how come on. Can you do a poll on who we think is responsible for the kids disappearing? Polls scare me, so I'm only allowed 4 options, and there are many suspects, so I would have to group them together, and the last time I did that I got in some trouble. So my groups, if I do a poll, hear me out for 2 seconds, my groups would have to be Daniel's side, and that would include Daniel, Janie, and anybody connected to them. Malaya, Cheryl, and anybody connected to them. Third would be bus driver's brother, any of the witnesses who have spoken up without mentioning any names, because I don't want to do that either, Carrie. Like the Durwoods, and, I mean, it would have to be so broad and we wouldn't know exactly where people's minds are. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't do that type of poll. There are so many options. And I did do something like that, and the majority of people in this channel were leaning towards stranger or somebody that the kids knew, but not anybody that was on the property. And then a close second, I believe, was somebody from Malaya's side. And Daniel, which I mean, it shocked me, but he was, he was third on the list. And a stranger abduction was last. Wandered into the woods was last. Harley is just talking in his sleep. She probably is. She has bear spray, so keeping my distance from Tea Lady. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have heard that they found Parker Wells. Is that the person you were speaking of? I've heard that he was found dead. I don't like saying that. Yes. Carolyn, sorry. Parker Wells was found deceased, no foul play. He wandered off and got, seems like he got lost in kind of a web of culverts and pipes under the infrastructure of the city. So we'll look into Parker here soon. I never heard the HR dogs hit in something. Oh, we did. I just didn't know where. I never heard. When is Teabag going to get the instructions? No idea what you're talking about. Not my business. You ever cover the case in Lac-La-Biche? Which case in Lac-La-Biche? From, what was it, the 70s, where I think the family of 5 disappeared? Is that the one you're talking about? But no. If that's what you're talking about, I touched on it when I was going over the Amber Tuckerow case, both with Sunny a few years back and on my podcast, but not specifically. Because the fella that was interesting in that case was also connected to the family who disappeared. The bus driver accusations just comes from Anita running. Yes, thank you. Exactly. Well, not scary, but definitely takes away from the videos. I enjoy them, but much more without Beavis and Butthead. Agreed, and I'm pretty sure she did. So, like I said, let's just wait and talk to Belinda about this incredible information. That could be nothing, but I don't think it's going to lead us to help find Jack and Lilly, but I think it, for me, has a little bit of a deeper meaning as far as maybe the attitude of law enforcement. Carrie Bailey, thank you for the silver star. Thank you. Are the RCMP like cops or something? Yes, they're federal. They're like our FBI. You should go wait in the short bus. It was in the interview on the news after they were done. Not bashing Cody at all, truly, really. But he do wish he would speak out and make some kind of a statement. He is Lily and Jack's father, just my opinion. I can understand people that are coming from that position, that way of thinking, but what can he possibly add if he had given up his rights to even know them 3 years before they went missing? Wouldn't that, and I'm honestly asking, wouldn't that open him up to more scrutiny? Where have you been for the last 3 years? Now you speak up. Now they're missing. Now you want to be a dad? It doesn't make sense to me. If he stepped away as their father, whether you agree with it or not, or you understand it or not, that means he's no longer, he's the sperm donor. He's not their dad. He's not their father. He's a sperm donor. That is just my opinion. Malaya had custody of the children. Shouldn't she be speaking? This case is so bizarre. From all the oddballs joining chats incognito to the comments made by parents to mislead, the narcolepsy affecting every adult at most relevant time. Crazy. I agree with you. I agree with you. 3 separate polls. Have we met? Then I would have to remember to check the results of the first poll, make a new poll, and then remember to check the results of the second poll, and then make a new poll, and then remember to check those results as well. Universal, that's sweet that you have so much faith in me, because I do not. I wish I could. I wish my co-host was here, AJ. Piece of blanket was on the front railing, Daleen. Wait another 15 more months. Maybe you'll get another sentence. So, but Gren, honestly, Cheryl told me months ago that the blanket was on the back railing, and Daniel conceded that it very well could have been on the back railing. And now Malaya comes out through shenanigans and says it was on the front railing. And we've watched that video. What front railing? I don't know. Malaya, if anyone, should be the one talking. I agree. Thank you for being here, Captain Injustice. We'll see you next time. Monsters of Chaos. To buy, you need to be 18 plus and sign a form that will only be used on wildlife. Showing it online is just stupid. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. What it boils down to with me, I'm not a follower. I don't allow people to make up my mind or tell me who's bad and who's not. I like shenanigans, and I feel sorry for her, as I would with any one of you and others. Thank you for that. You can bring up Cody all you want, but I feel like I've kind of laid my cards on the table the way I think of it. If he gave up his rights all these years ago, I would be like, okay, so then if Cody, and I'm not saying this as a fact, but if Cody hadn't given up on Jack and Lilly, what are the chances, if he was getting visits every second weekend and he fought for the right to know his children, what are the chances that they would have been neglected, abused, missing for over a year at this point? I mean, we all make our decisions, and there are consequences to those decisions, and I'm not blaming Cody, but in order to say that Cody should be speaking up, then in the next breath you have to say every bit of that last bit. We have no idea what their lives would be like if Cody was in it more full time. So I'm not willing to go there. So Cody stepped out years ago, Daniel stepped in years ago, and the accountability lands on Malaya and on Daniel to keep the children safe, and they failed. Period. To me, it's got nothing to do with Cody. That ship sailed years ago. To be responsible for their safety and welfare? Sorry. Cody had no responsibility here. He handed that over to Malaya, who then shared it willingly with Daniel. My opinion. Hate to be the Karen in the chat, but this live's not about shenanigans. Let's stay on topic. No shit. Are we talking about shenanigans? Can we stop? Like, if you have something that you want to say about shenanigans, then go make a comment on whatever post that is. People keep sending me screenshots that I'm not reading, by the way. Go post on her channel. And if it's gone, it's gone. Then stop talking about it. Like, I have no idea. Biggest red flag is Malaya's behavior. It's mind-blowing how protected she is. I agree. Mustang Girl, yes, it's supposed to be used on wildlife. The RCMP do frown on people using it in self-defense, but it has happened in the past. You're talking bear spray. Okay, so just a side story. We used to, well, when I had to go into the office and be there, we had bear spray. in the foam canisters, whatever, kept in the work trucks, because guys would be going out working in remote areas, and quite often they'd run into wildlife. And so they were, and of course, men are men, and some of them aren't altogether the brightest, and we had more than one canister be set off inside the work truck. You can drop it, please, because I disagree. Everything starts somewhere and it ends somewhere. So, and to take accountability for your own words, your own actions that may have fed into a certain situation is huge. And maybe people would be more supportive if that happened, but it never did. Butterflies. Haven't seen you before, but thanks for being here. What is Jack and Lily's favorite song? I want to know. Does anyone know? That Gabby's dollhouse, playhouse? My granddaughter. But I remember Malaya in that letter said that. Did she not? Mike MX, good to see you. Cody didn't give up his rights. It's my understanding Cody had visitation, but his mother had to be present. He never went to court to get visitation, SPF. I don't know. I don't think that's 100% accurate, but we can ask Belinda when we have her on tomorrow. Here, Marie. Everybody else that happens to be menopausal and maybe a little bit on the negative side today, put a 1 in the chat just to warn Joe. Don't be shy. Do you guys remember the beginning? I thought 48 hours max and we'd have answer. How off was I? And somebody was pointing out some things from early on. Forgive me, please. Shanatra speaks? Do you remember this channel, this person, this coverage? Some interesting stuff. And as we continue, after our conversation with Belinda, as we continue starting over, I think because I never paid attention to that coverage, I think I'm going to go in that direction, unless my chatters tell me not to. Because I never paid much attention to her, you know? But apparently there was lots. So, I'm blaming Cody, but Belinda doesn't need to see his name in these chats. Shouldn't you be in the bus? Can you guys hear Harley? Do you hear that? From my understanding, and we'll clear it up, from my understanding, he didn't go to court. He didn't fight Malaya for custody or visitation. He just stepped back. He didn't give up his rights, because if he had done that, if he signed off his rights to the kids, he probably would have gotten out of paying child support, but he didn't. He only stopped paying child support once he lost his job, and the rest of it we've heard before, but we will get that again from Belinda. So you're right. He didn't give up his rights. He just didn't exercise his rights. Respect for Cody? Weird. Nobody is innocent. He may have a problem, and he could have helped Malaya. Malaya is the same as him, young parents. But isn't that the point, Universal? Cody never stepped up for his kids. I'm not saying that it's right, and I'm not saying that it's okay, but what I'm saying is it's not connected to where Jack and Lilly are, and it's barely even a conversation piece for the life that they lived, because he wasn't involved in it by choice, but he wasn't there to see it. He wasn't even visiting with them to notice anything. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way I'm seeing it in my head. Is it true you called Anita and asked her to go on Susan's like recently? I didn't believe it, but just wondering. You're talking about me? Me? Because no. Of course not. Who? Sinister, good to see you. Okay, good. Weeks ago. Okay, good. Hot day in Black's Harbor? Hot days are better than cold days. Some men cannot handle parenthood. Cody opted to not care for and protect his kids. Bonnie Garrett, good to see you. I'll read it anyways, even though I don't care. Anita called me a few weeks ago. Susan and I called her a few days later. Susan invited her to come on her show. Anita said she'd think about it. I sent about 20 people the link to Hidden in the Fog that night. Did she come on? If she did, whoo, dodged a bullet by not clicking that link. All the oil rigs had bear spray on site. Yeah. And we ended up having to put it all in individual trucks as well. And that's why I had to go do the train the trainer shit. And I started doing wildlife awareness training and building safety videos and programs for new workers to understand even how to use bear spray and do competencies. It's a whole thing out here. Leslie Donovan, thank you very much. That's very, very generous. Thank you. Gabby's Dollhouse for both, then I guess. Thanks, Charmaine. Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing that we heard, right? Don't know what that means. Thank you, butterflies. It's nice of you. 10 jewels. She won't go on the show. Mike will get mad. I can't talk. I can't answer stuff like that. I can't tell I'm not gonna say my opinion on any of that. One, for postmenopausal and prepping for a colonoscopy. Oh, Joe, behave yourself, because Deborah will metaphorically rip your head off if you don't behave yourself. Shanatra speaks. Did I say that right, TJ's mom? She doesn't lie about everything, but she twists something in almost everything mixed with outright lies. Exhausting to try to figure it out. No thanks. You can't hear Harley at all? He's snoring and groaning and growling in his sleep. I do believe he didn't give up his rights, but yes, he should have kept up his payments. The kids needed it. Didn't he pay until like January of that year? I'm pretty sure that's what Belinda said. That's right. It won't end well. I promise you. Vasectomy. Sharon, you take care of yourself. My gosh. Joe, one more smart-ass word out of you and we're just going to attack. Does anyone know if Cheryl or Shelby did polygraphs? Not a clue. Daleen on Anita. She is no longer welcome on my channel. Too much drama and twisting things when she reports to Mike on the live they do. Anybody can watch, you monsters. That's the sad part. You can block whoever you want, but they're still free to watch. Oh, if there was only a way to stop people from watching you, I would. Charmaine, that's BS. Even if he gave up his rights, he would still need to pay. Yes. No, well, wait a second, Lori. It's not BS because I went through it. My ex signed off his rights and he didn't have to pay child support because there was somebody else who didn't legally adopt them, but he was there. And at any point I could have, I guess I could have reactivated the maintenance enforcement account, but it's not complete BS. If you legally relinquish your rights to your children, then maybe it's changed. Like, we're talking like 32 years ago that happened with me. But check out the song Lily by Kate Bush. It reminds me of Malaya and Lily. I'm surprised you're not already 50, Joe. You come across as much, much older. With the same sand of time, Cody might have walked Lily down. I don't know what that means. Down the aisle. Think they're talking about Anita. Nobody calls Anita. They meet up with her at the Costco. Or the Thames. Am I right? Some women make it very difficult to be a co-parent. Malaya would have legal aid. Cody would have to either represent himself or pay an expensive lawyer. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth. Yeah. Especially if you saw the accusations in those papers. And I'm postmenopausal too. I hope it goes well. And yeah. Is it hot in Cape Breton? Beautiful place. Hey, Ori, good to see you. Isn't that funny? Like, And the best part about that is Mike runs with it. It's like, Charmaine is a slimy piece of shit because she stole my content. Because she talked about what Malaya said before I did. Putting in the bedroom air conditioner, probably a good idea. I call bull. Thanks for being here, Belinda Believes. See you next time. Why do men do that? A small taser for protection, but they just have to fire it at each other. Right? They just think it's funny. I actually saw a video last night. I'm pretty sure it was just a TikTok or something, and there was a bear, and a guy deployed his bear spray towards the bear, did a great job. Bear took off, but the man stood in the area and he's trying to tell his wife, who's up on the balcony, like, I shot it with bear spray, and he got overcome like right away. Like, it was funny. You're supposed to leave the area. Like, back out of the area. Mr. Hemi, you're so late. Oh man, I'm not complaining, not at all. Not at all. Oh, look everybody, Ian's home. Woohoo! So, anyways, let's see here. What can I play for 5 minutes to find out why we're so early today? You're lurking, are you? All right. So there has to be something. I know. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this one. Gonna do this. YouTube. Guess what we're gonna watch? There's a couple of good ones on here. For sure, for sure. Have you all been keeping up with my MX? He didn't bring ice. No, he never does. He would never. I'm just kidding. He usually does. Yes, Ian got a shave. Woo, woo. He's probably not listening right now. Never mind. Out front, for peace sake. So, out front is the follow-up, I think, for peace sake. Okay, so this one first and then this one, okay, you guys? And this is important, but mostly because I want to hear what's going on. Setting my speaker up. All right. Make it big. Where am I? Make it big. Turn my camera off. Yay. And Shannon talking smack about Shar. She said Malia's ex was on here. No, he wasn't. They got that wrong. Okay. So let's listen to Mike for a few minutes. Ian is fine. Don't even worry about Ian.
Okay, so we're down in the low-level forests, away from the high hills at the minute. With Malaya's information coming out that the piece of the blanket was over the front rail, it changes things a little bit, and it changes my perspective. Moving one piece of any puzzle can seem to make things either fit better or fit worse. And I think it fits better. And I'll just show this rail as it appeared in the early days of the search. This is probably the clearest of the pictures of the rail from the early days of the search. And that is what appears to be a coat hanging over it. We know that the RCMP arrived at 1407 at 10:27 a.m. and the indications are that their sirens were blaring as they arrived, which indicates that their dash cams were working on the vehicles equipped with dash cam. We also know that the vehicles entered the driveway of 1407, which would have gave a view of the front of the trailer and likely the railing, whether the piece of blanket was on it or not. And according to the documents as well, we know at 10:38 a.m. Constable Mugford launched a drone, and it too likely would have footage of the front of the trailer where the rail is. So in all likelihood, the RCMP, they know by 10:38 a.m. whether there was a piece of blanket on or not on the railing. We'll continue on. There's an email response from an RCMP officer to Ninchi about an inquiry she made about the bus camera footage. And I'll just read the response. Investigators did review morning footage from a passing school bus, but the video quality is too poor to confirm whether the blanket was there/not there. Okay. In relation to this information from Malaya that the blanket was on the railing. I did some tests at a range of 47 yards, which is the distance from the school bus camera to the rail at the trailer. And it is very hard, if not impossible, to tell if a blanket would have been there or not there, because the image is so pixelated. It's very hard to know. And in relation to this response as well, it does say investigators did review morning footage, and that's fair enough. The blanket most likely was not planted or arrived, we'll say, in that tree until later in the morning. So, when the school bus went up Lansdowne Road, if the blanket was in the tree at that stage in the morning, it would have been seen. But if it wasn't there, the camera wouldn't have picked it up. The thing is, this is in relation to morning footage, and it seems to me it's a holdback, because there was two later buses in the afternoon, an early afternoon bus and a later afternoon bus. And that early afternoon bus would surely have footage of the pink blanket if it was in that tree at that time. That would have been before Emily and Hayden and Bailey arrived on Lansdowne Road. Okay, I'll continue on.
So just to follow that up a little bit, Daniel did say that the blanket was not on the footage in the morning. So it was there sometime after the school bus in the morning passed. So there's that. Let's just continue.
Okay, so just to make it a little bit clearer, why do I say if the bus went up Lansdowne Road and if the blanket was in the tree, it would have been seen by that camera? Because the distance from the bus camera to the blanket when it was in the tree was approximately 15 yards, and it's easily seen with the resolution of the bus camera. But that same camera can't pick up the resolution, can't pick up the blanket's image at 3 times that distance, which is the distance from Gairloch Road to the trailer where the rail is. It just pixelates at that range, and it just can't be seen whether there's a blanket there or not there. So that's why, and I've tested it with that same resolution camera. Blanket can be seen at 15 yards, out to 20 yards and beyond, but getting up past 50 yards, it's practically invisible. What can I say? Malaya has indicated that blanket was on that front rail until the children went missing. Malaya has also indicated that she was in the trailer, and when she was talking to Janie in Janie's yard, she wasn't out the front of the trailer. But in most, if not all, of Daniel's narratives, Daniel puts himself at the front of the trailer. And one time his narrative had him running down past his mother's camper and going to the front of the house before coming to the back of the house. But all his versions have him going out through the front door, which puts him right there at that rail. And Malaya has indicated that they are not saying the blanket was planted. And it's fairness to them, they don't know, so they can't say. But all the indications are that the blanket was planted. I'll leave it there for now. Take care. Good luck.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that Daniel said that John with Major Crimes told him that the blanket was planted. So that should end that debate, and that he was told that the blanket can't be seen on the bus dash cam video in the morning. So, yeah, good video, Mike. Thanks for that, as always. It's good talking points and good way to kind of broaden your thinking, you know, for everybody that's stuck in that tunnel vision, myself included. So, so what are we at? 1:38. So I'd like to. Oh, really? When are you gonna be home? You gonna be home soon? Yeah, I recall that about them stating that. Yeah, that the blanket was planted and that they could not see it in the morning dash cam video. Yeah. That's not till next month, Gren. Okay. Okay, we'll talk later then. So, I'm gonna take this down for just a minute because I want to quickly move over to Darius. Now, I don't know for sure, you guys, but I haven't heard a whole lot about the barbecue being a huge success, which is unfortunate. But I did notice that Dallas made a post that I wanted to read. Maybe have to make it real big. It's nice to see everybody posting everything about Darius. Thank you for that. But it's kind of funny how a lot of things are now blocked out so certain people can't see what's being posted. I don't understand why that is. Who are you? This is Darius's dad, you know, the person that was with him when he went missing. And they put red flags in there. It should be him. Stop hiding what he did to Darius. Like, what? How do you think this is going to be received by the public? And if these groups are out here saying publicly all of this garbage to Darius's dad, who finally made a post, and I'm not denying that, but then he gets attacked, and it's been this way for months. So do you really expect him or anybody else to want to talk to you if that's the treatment that they get every single time? blows my mind. So if you're, like I said, if you've got the time, obviously August 1st is come and gone, but they do have a GoFundMe. Apparently this did not go as well as they had hoped, but you can still donate to the cause of hiring a PI and other search resources by doing this. So I'll make this big for a second so you guys can take a screenshot of this with the information on it. Let Harley drink. Just a minute. Oh my gosh. He's a thirsty boy. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, screenshot that so you have the email if you can and you feel like you want to donate to that cause. Please do. But again, my message would be lay off a little bit. You know, you're not going to get anybody to talk to you if you're just going to attack them. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you think. It only matters what you can prove. So stop it. Encourage open conversation and maybe you'll get somewhere. Now, having said that, there are more important things, in my opinion, happening behind the scenes for Darius. And right now, the big one is the vigil being planned for the 1 year mark in Darius's disappearance. September 21st, there will be a vigil. And September 22nd will be a rally. And so I hope to see a lot of people there because I will most definitely be there for that. And just stop the attacks and stop the shit. You're going to get further with open conversation than you are with this junk that they're exposing themselves to every time they speak up publicly. And so that's what I want to say about that. Because much more important things happening behind the scenes, and y'all know that you can take my word for it. And, we're going to figure it out. No matter who knows what, who's hiding what actually happened to this sweet little boy, we're going to figure it out. That's what he was wearing when he disappeared. We're going to figure it out. So Ian is looking dapper. Why? Because he shaved? Oh, everybody's impressed that you know how to blow your nose. Good job, honey. Good job. Does Ian know he should? He absolutely should. His laptop's not plugged in, so he is purposely sitting in view of the camera, just so y'all know. He's warming up to the idea of coming on panel. He's getting closer, so we'll be supportive. Everybody's saying hi, Ian. September 3rd, I want to say. Am I right, you guys? Ian blowing his nose made you hungry, Gren? Nice. In Jack and Lilly case, there's too many agendas going down. You spotted a mile away and playing mind games with the public. I agree, but that's why, honestly, that's why we made those lists before, so that we can take all the information, but still keep in mind where what angle the information is coming from. Because I don't think anybody's purposely misleading or distracting. I think it has a lot of ego involved and maybe a level of protecting friends involved, but I don't know. If there was any obvious red flags in Darius's case, it would be understandable. Did I say anything other? September 21st and 22nd. Thank you, Maritzka. Here's to another drink for Harley. Thank you. I released my daughters into the wild. Don't know what that means. Harley can share with Ian. They can eat and drink out of the same trough. I agree. Gotta go get ready for a true crime story time with the husbands. What are you talking about? You want Ian's opinions on these matters? Ian's opinion on Jack and Lilly is that he has no idea, but it is odd that Daniel is the only family talking and speaking about the difference between Daniel talking and Malia not talking. That's his opinion on that. On Darius, he thinks he just wandered away. I don't think he knows too terribly much about that. And Parker, he's, very sad to hear about what happened, and he doesn't get too involved. Obviously, he has no choice with Jack and Lilly because that's, like I said the other night, it's like all-consuming for over a year now. So he has no way to avoid Jack and Lilly conversations. Daniel quiet lately. I heard that he talked to Susan, hidden in the fog. He did message me about a week ago-ish. I shared some of that with you guys. One of my last 2 live streams, not 100% sure. Me and Sunny. I mean, that would be great if Steve and Ian would join us. But I don't know. I don't know if that'll ever happen. We'll see. I'm also going to try to be a reserve cop deputy so I can be a certain type of child abuse investigator who can be armed. Interesting, Joe. Okay. I'll work on him. I don't even know what he's doing home. He shouldn't be home for another like two hours. So I venture to guess he doesn't want to come up right now. So anyways, okay. So of course, in true fashion, Charmaine got busy with life and didn't pin messages and did not have time to dig in. But what I will tell you about Parker, if you guys remember the day that he was found, we were talking about a new timeline, a potential timeline that was kind of troubling. He had been seen, I want to say, and Marie Antoinette will know. She knows this stuff. But I want to say between 10 and 10:45 a.m., he was seen at the Cambridge Elementary School, trying to get into the school. I don't know that we ever found out why that was, but that was like at least 15 minutes or longer before they said he wandered away from the day home. Remember, 11:01 to 11:38, somewhere in there was when he wandered away. I don't know, maybe he's allergic to my candles. I don't know. He's fine. Don't say poor Ian, he's fine. He's fine. Anyways, 10. So he was spotted at the school. So that lends to what we talked about in one of the first days, that maybe Parker wanted to go to school. But if that's the case, then why did the reports say that he wandered away between 11:01 and 11:38? That doesn't make any sense. And when did they find out that he was actually at the school before that? And did the day home know he was at the school? Was he supposed to be at the school? Or did they think he was supposed to be at the school? I have questions. And yes, they did actually let me find this because it's actually sad. There was another post today just reminding people to give Parker's family their space to grieve and their privacy to grieve, and which is so sad. Still, after all these days, people are still, I don't want to say harassing, but still like trying to reach out to them. And so I'm going to go ahead and share this screen because this is just the information about Parker. He walked in, Maritzka. In Arizona, our CPS investigators are former cops. They are armed because they go to the ghetto too. They escort unarmed investigators, 2-person teams. Interesting. There are pedophiles everywhere, but he went, he walked into the culvert and got in too deep. And I'm pretty sure we're still waiting for the findings of his postmortem. But to me, just knowing confined space, and when they mentioned toxic gases and stuff, and it's more than likely going to be he was overcome, or there was an oxygen deficiency or something that caused him to lose consciousness, and then continuing to breathe that in would have taken his life. But that's just my speculation. Police report shows he was reported missing around 10:30 a.m. So he went straight to the school then, right? The Cambridge Elementary School. And Gren says that he crawled into the culverts to hide, but he kept going, right? They say 137 meters is where he was found. Does Ian have opinions on the case? No one in my house will engage. They just groan and walk away. He listens. Ian is a good listener, and he has given his opinions, and I've shared them here before. The only candles my hubby likes are the ones that smell like food. That's funny. I've got Snow White burning over there, and then I've got Mulan burning up here. I don't know. The times don't line up. Right? Strange. Yeah, it was pretty big. Yeah, rest in peace. So yes, his family is still looking. The space was too small for an adult to place him where he was found. Right. The pipe was said to have been about 4 feet, then branched off into several pipe being around 2 feet. He was found in the smaller pipe, I believe, yes. And the deeper you go and the far away from fresh air you go with all that sediment and stuff flowing through there, it does create toxic gases like H2S. But then there's also the potential for oxygen deficiency. And any one of those they're fatal if exposed long enough. So even if he had been overcome and fell asleep due to something like oxygen deficiency, he still would have been breathing in that toxic low oxygen air. And it wouldn't have been enough to sustain life, unfortunately. Could he have left from his school? Well, there wasn't school, summer holidays, but I thought, like at first I thought maybe he wanted to go to school, because I do have a friend with an autistic son who does miss school. So it's heart-wrenching to think what made him want to leave his day home, how he could go unnoticed, The police report says that he was reported missing at 10:30, but we didn't hear that, right? We heard 11:01 to 11:38, so I don't know. Rise high, Parker. And he is already the catalyst for Amber Alert reform. In fact, Indigo Alert. Just one sec. Anyways, we're going to look into that Amber Alert reform, and we will. Just one sec. Sorry, Ian was reading his account number. Stupid. What does Ian think happened to Jack and Lilly? Let me think about this. He does think it's very strange. He doesn't know what to think, but I feel like he's not far off of where I am, in that what we think is our own business, number one, and number two, it's not impossible for them to have been taken by somebody. Because the fact remains that by the time that search in the woods ended, they could have been on the other side of the country. They could have been here in BC. They could have been anywhere. But knowing what we know, it's just more responsible to keep our own personal opinions to ourselves, but just encourage open conversation and listening to everybody and anybody. Heartbreaking. Yeah. Parker Wells. Panic would set in too. So he was nonverbal autistic. He was wearing his noise canceling headphones because he would experience. In fact, why don't I play Parker's family's message to everybody? So they recorded a message to the community because of the outpouring of support. They felt obligated to speak on behalf of their family and how they were feeling about the community coming together to help look for their son. So before he was found, they made this recording, and it was played after he was found, sadly. And it does explain a lot more about Parker, about his headphones, about the type of nonverbal autistic he was. So I will play that here in a few minutes. But the fact that the Alberta government looked past the criteria normally needed for an Amber Alert and issued an Amber Alert after 2 days of Parker being missing, I think that is going to help bring in a new alert system for anybody vulnerable. And like I was saying, anybody, to me, a child that goes missing, wanders off under any circumstances, is going to be in danger, particularly if they're autistic, and then add another layer to that if they're nonverbal, and another layer to that if they've got physical disabilities. Do you know what I mean? Not just like a silver alert or a vulnerable person's alert, but something specific for children who wander away, who have special needs, who need the entire community to be looking for them, or at least have their eyes open for them immediately. So I think that that's what's happening right now. So before I play, I will find that video from his parents. Did you know, this is from change.org. I don't follow on Facebook, but I get regular emails from them. Did you know Amber Alert criteria aren't set nationally? Each province makes its own rules. That meant a family in Calgary spent 2 days waiting for an alert that, for many Canadians, is assumed to go out within the hour. Parker Wells was 11, nonverbal and autistic. He went missing from his day home in Calgary, and it was because there was no evidence of an abduction. His case didn't meet Alberta's Amber Alert criteria. It took a provincial exemption before an alert reached the public 2 full days after he disappeared. 2 weeks later, he was found deceased. And I will reiterate what I've been saying, that had an Amber Alert gone out immediately, people saw this boy. He was seen, but nobody knew that there was an issue. They didn't know there was a missing autistic boy. So when you see a boy with no shirt on but with his headphones on walking around on a hot summer day, you don't know that there's an issue. If there was an Amber Alert, he would be home right now. And that is why this is making so much headway, I think. Jennifer Ball, a Calgary mother of a nonverbal autistic child herself, started a petition asking Alberta to close this gap. She is calling it an Indigo Alert, a new category that would cover children who are nonverbal, autistic, medically vulnerable, or otherwise unable to ask for help, whether or not abduction can be confirmed. Do you think Canada needs an Indigo Alert? If you agree, sign the petition at change.org, fix alert system. So this is not the same as the Darius's law, and most of you has signed the Darius's law already, and that is for nationwide Amber Alert reform. They're going for gold with that. They want to change the Amber Alert criteria. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is a big goal, but this is for a new alert system. I have not signed this yet, but I will. Let me get a... I think my municipality is this. This is not it. I believe is V1E. Yep. Sign petition. That easy, you guys. I'm going to share this link with y'all, and hopefully channels that are watching right now, you will share it as well. If you're Canadian, this matters. It matters, right? Alberta can be the front runner to get this going. Even though I don't think Jack and Lilly were, obviously they weren't nonverbal. I think that Parker has more vulnerabilities than Jack and Lilly did, but the simple fact that they're 4 and 6 years old, possible autistic, they deserved an alert right away. Darius, even though he was not nonverbal, he did not have physical disabilities, he was in danger the moment he disappeared. He deserved an alert right away. Now, would it have made a difference? We'll never know. But with Parker, I am confident in saying it would have made all the difference. So a day home typically in Alberta is just a regular home. It's like your wife is a stay-at-home mom or a homemaker, whatever, and she wants to babysit other people's children. Now you can register to be a certified registered day home, and you're audited and you're given guidelines that you have to abide by, and people can get subsidy and you get paid the subsidized rate, whatever, from the government, and you can be a registered day home operator. This was not that. We'll look in just a minute, okay? Sure. Well, I can't do that in front of you guys. I'll do it right now. I'm gonna do cut amount, and I will do this card, and I will pay securely. Thanks. I'm already a member. Thank you. Okay, guys, I put the link in there. Head over there, sign the petition, donate if you can. If you can't, it's not a big deal. Everybody appreciates the signatures. And what else? I want to find that post. It's just, I can bring this back up now. It's so sad, you guys. So sad about Parker. It's too many. Tracking dilemma, and people are calling for air tags being used, microchips being used. I'm for it all, to be honest with you. Our vulnerable children need more added security than non-divergent children. Our boy was seen trying to bang on building doors. That's what some believe. I know day homes are government buildings and have less security features for being a child care facility. Parker should have had a device from day one put on every time he went to a day home. This could have aided in him being found within less than half an hour. Yeah, I'm looking for, I need to go into my messenger, you guys, to find the full video link. Know what I mean? I'm going down to the bottom of chat while I search for this full video from his parents. Sorry, you guys, of course I got sidetracked by a message. Just looking for the link now. Media files, links. Oh boy. So yeah, we already talked about that. Just confirmed that Parker was banging on doors and trying to get into a school in Cambrian on the first day for 30 to 45 minutes. I saw a post about this yesterday. If so, this makes me think he would have entered into a building on the first day. I remember Friday night, it was thundering and lightning in the evening. I couldn't sleep because I was worried about him. And then more calls to let the family grieve, but I apologize, this isn't up yet or like in view of you yet, but trying to protect everybody's identities and privacy, so just bear with me. I will find it. Now, the YouTube links, when you share it, does it come through as a link or as media? Oh, that was just today. Never mind. Patience. Patience. It's here somewhere. It's unfortunate that there's so many, this group that I'm looking at right now, it almost strictly shares things about missing children, and there's so much. And it just goes, it's a stark reminder of how, what like an epidemic this is around this country, not even just around this country, but everywhere. I don't want to use the one from the city police. There we go. Found it. I did find it. So, add stage. Beautiful. I'm going to make it a full page. And then we'll listen to this. It's gonna, they do, like, remember this was recorded obviously before Parker was found. It is sad, get your tissues, but it still tells us more about this boy. And I think it's important for us all to remember what we're dealing with. And then I'll show you what the KIDZ HOTEL is again. And we'll decide whether or not we're going to dig in or if we're just going to keep our eyes on it. We'll decide as a group. Where's my mouse? It's here somewhere. There it is. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Parker's mommy.
Hi, I'm Parker's daddy.
Everyone relates to having a missing child, but for a child from the special needs community it really hits hard. I think there's been so many people from that community that have come out for this because they understand things, right? You know, other people don't, and they know the extra special challenges and that you can't just search for him the same way that you typically would, that, you know, you need to think outside the box and be creative and you know, try to find ways to connect with him. And people have done that. Like, it's walking around as well. Like, we've been out there searching too, and the things we've seen have been so touching. And we're not very effective searchers because we're crying all the time. But like the things we've seen, like I've seen people leaving out like hats and blankets and sensory toys, food and water. Like people even like having little kiddie pools for him to cool down. And yeah, not just missing signs, like there's special signs that Parker would understand because they're social stories, so that he knows if he sees a policeman, he can get help from them. So all of that has just been just overwhelming to see.
There's, I've noticed on like social media, from people have shared it with me, and I've seen a few cases of this myself, that there's a lot of people who have been like, I've been in a similar situation. I've lost my son or daughter. They've run away, they've escaped, and they know the exact same feeling that we're going through. Like the sheer terror in your like chest, like, you know, where is our kid? Yeah, like Parker, he's a lovable, quirky 11-year-old with severe autism. For him, the world is a really loud, confusing, chaotic place for him. He wears headphones all the time to help dampen that, to help make it, you know, more tolerable.
Parker loves animals from a distance, on his own terms. He loves music, as we've seen in the community with the police playing Disney songs. He just lights up with music. He's a very sensory kid, so we have a swing in our backyard, we have a swing inside. You would not believe the acrobatics he can do on it. We have to keep moving the TV further and further away. And ourselves as well, because he will swing right into us if we don't move. Hi! Wee!
when not swinging, playing with water. That's like one of his favorite things, like playing in the kiddie pools. We've got like a little spray fountain mat. Loves stamping, like stepping on it and watching it splash up in his face.
Yeah. I would say he's quietly intelligent. Again, he surprises us all the time with what he's capable of and the schoolwork he's capable of. So the teachers will show us things that he's done and we say, was this really him? But no, you can't underestimate him.
It's meant the world to us. Like seeing all those people out searching, and like every time we walk by, people have got like Bluetooth speakers out. They've got like different Disney songs playing, and you're like, oh, they've got, Lion King, or oh, it's like Aladdin, and it's like we usually kind of break down crying after they go past, but like just how much people care. It's been incredible. Like like it absolutely means like the world to us that so many people care, and like seeing all those people out walking, dedicating their time to like somebody else's kid, a complete stranger in most cases, like absolutely incredible.
I honestly don't think we have a word in English to properly express just how like overwhelmingly grateful and like appreciative we are of everybody coming out and coming together like this. Like, there's a reason that Calgary is always on those lists of the best cities to live in, and like this is it. We have seen all kinds of people, young, old, different cultures, like different walks of life. Like everybody is out there and they're searching in the hot summer weather, the hot, smoky summer weather, night and day, like in their cars, on their bikes, on foot, like in tall grass, like, close to the creeks, like over the hills, like everywhere, just everywhere. Thank you. Thank you for coming out, and like thank you doesn't seem like it's enough. We just can't believe the response and how everyone has come forward to help, and it means so much. Just again, like there's no words to properly express that. It means the world to us and more, because Parker is our world.
Well, one, we really want to thank the community because it's been absolutely amazing. We've really appreciated everything Calgary and the province has done for us. We just really, really wanted to thank everybody.
This has been a tough week, not just us, everyone who's been helping and contributing in every way they can. This is tough. So please, if you or anyone you know is struggling with this situation, please go seek out the help you need so you can get support. It's so important. Self-care.
And don't just think about doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your family. Do it for everybody. And we say the same thing to our family as well. Seek help, not just for yourself, but for everybody around you. Yeah, like the other message is, like hug your loved ones, hug your family, hug your kids, kids, hug your parents, hold them tight. Because you don't know when you'll get another chance. We'd love to be able to give Parker another hug right now.
So that's the message Parker's family wanted to relay to the community while they were still searching for their son. And I've been watching chat, and it is sad. It's heartbreaking, especially knowing how this ended. But as I was watching, I was thinking about their experiences, the roller coaster, and the more I think about it, I tend to lean towards now still not being time to start going all YouTube on that day home. I think that the family needs the time that they need, however long that's going to take, to grieve and to process, to get answers from the Calgary police, and for justice to come. And I'm sure that because of the public interest and the effort that everybody put into, they all deserve to be updated. So when the Calgary City Police have some sort of answers, they will do an update. Like, I'm very confident that we will get that. And at that point, we will start looking into it. In the meantime, if you want to do your own research about this KIDZ Hotel, it is KIDZ Hotel, KIDZ Hotel. It is a special needs care facility, basically. They can do drop-ins, they can do longer stays, but you can look into it on your own. And there will come a time, but like I said, the more I think about it, the more I think that it's still too raw for them. So I wouldn't feel right about pounding that out right now. And this is what parents of missing children should sound like. I agree, Mr. Hemme. But do we remember, and I'm more so leaning on locals right now, Parker was missing for 2 weeks. Do we remember Jack and Lilly's case at the 2-week mark, say 13 days, where there were still no answers, and, people were they were still searching in their own way. They were raising awareness. They were being voices and all the rest of it. But when did things change in Jack and Lily's case? When did it get so... I don't want to say misguided, but you know what I mean? When did that happen? Was it before the 2-week mark? Did it start straight off? And what do you guys think why that happened? If it was earlier than 2 weeks, why do you think that happened? And I am talking directly to the locals. Because you can't blame it on Durwood. Durwood wasn't around until June. Daniel was talking. Malaya had left. I don't know exactly. It was early June that Logan and Cheryl both started talking on Hidden in the Fog. So you're looking at like a month. But was there a sense of camaraderie for even the first little bit? Like, what's different? Ron Mexico, thank you for joining today. So what you were saying, Mr. Hemme, is that she has said more in 2 minutes than another mother, a certain mother, has said in over a year. Right, Hemme? No blaming language. No, if you give them food, they'll go with you. Amazing parents who did everything they could with the loving, supportive community, who on their own were leaving food out for Parker and water out and kiddie pools for him to cool down in. And what's different? I do pray that they find their peace as well, and that's why I think we need to give them whatever time they need. An update will come, and at that point, that's when we will do our thing as a community, and we will look into that day home facility, and if we even need to. Maybe we won't need to. Maybe the answers will be some kind of accountability. I worked at McDonald's when all the Disney CDs were featured on sale with songs from all the movies. I did reach out to April today, reason being, I mean, I usually talk to her a lot more often, but she's definitely struggling with this. For sure struggling with this. But I want to share this. Finally, some news about a vigil, a community public vigil. Right here. Community vigil in loving memory of Parker Wells, when 7 to 8 p.m. Wednesday, August 5th. So that is tomorrow at the City Hall Plaza, which is just on McLeod Trail Southeast. Details to follow. I haven't seen any details just yet, but if you can make it, definitely make it. If they're streaming it, I will definitely stream it. If I can get a hold of April, my parents... I mean, the bottom line is my mom's mobility is not good enough to attend City Hall Plaza. I don't know if you know the area, but it's not a park and get out of your car and you're there. It's definitely a walk. If you're lucky enough to find parking down there, otherwise you have to take the train or a bus. So I can't see my parents being able to make this one, but I do want to send something with April. If she's able to attend, which I can almost guarantee you she will, and if she's able to stream it for us, I will be more than happy to bring that to you live tomorrow night. But we will see. However, there is something else planned for the greater community in Canada. And you can do this in your own area, in your own community. You can create a group, or you can do it solo. You can do it while you're taking your dog for a walk, or whatever, however you want to do it. I plan on doing this. Parker's Memorial Adventure Walk. Walk in Parker's memory wherever you call home. Anytime during the weekend of August 8th and 9th, wherever you are, in neighborhoods, parks, pathways, trails, green spaces, walk your own way. Wish the family, friends, loved ones, and neighbors. Honor Parker and dress for adventure. Dress in Disney-inspired clothes, a fun costume, or wear blue if you'd like. Maybe bring a friend, a stuffed friend. Enjoy Parker's favorite music or the sounds of nature. Post online using #WalkWithParker. Parker loved exploring nature in his own way, and we are inviting families and communities everywhere to take their own adventure walks. There's no specific time nor location. Our wish is for people to spend time with their loved ones in their own special places. So again, I do plan on doing this. It'll probably, unless anybody local to me wants to join me, I will be doing this either on my own or with anybody that reaches out and contacts me from the area here. And I hope that y'all will too. If you do, send me videos and I can compile them into one video to show our support as a community. And yeah, it's just, it's sad and it's heartbreaking, but I feel like Parker's family deserves the privacy and the peace that I think would be negatively impacted if we try to start any kind of noise about that day home just yet. The time will come. It's worth knowing how hard it can be to locate children, especially autistic children. It likely would have been a long time before Parker was found, if not for, I won't say why, because of sensitivity. That's right. I've never seen a GoFundMe go so high so fast like it did for Parker. I'm still wondering where to donate my $500 to for Jack and Lilly. You could do what we do here, Tom, and donate it to a cause you see fit. We've donated to the Mental Health Society in Nova Scotia. We've donated it to Coats for Kids. We did Secret Santa stuff. We gave the school some ski pants and boots and whatnot. We gave gift cards away at grocery stores. Just wherever you think the money is needed more. I know, I'm not sure if it was you. There was Robert in here the other day too, who was saying that searchers need tick spray. That there's all sorts of places. Cool, thanks for being here. Tamaru, thank you for being here. I'm going to end it right away too. You want answers before you donate? There may be an innocent person dragged through the mud, and if so, that where it will go. But thanks for the advice. Oh, I see what you're saying. Just got a message that Ground Search and Rescue activated and called in to help search for an older fellow in his 80s, maybe in Pictou County. I did get that alert as well. Is this even something the Calgary police will be investigating? Usually these sorts of things are resolved by a governmental inquiry. I suspect. I mean, you're probably not wrong, but the community, I think, will demand answers, and if it's not given in a public release of any kind, I think that the family will, or have a spokesperson, when those answers come. But I think right now it's important to respect their requests for privacy, and I don't think digging into the circumstances on YouTube is the definition of respecting anybody's privacy. Just knowing how things go, do you know what I mean? And I'm really sorry if people want me to do that right now. I don't know that I'd feel right. The early conflicting narratives. How early, Mike? Like it was early. It was early. Oh, Ian's back on his printer, guys. There you go. It was definitely a different situation. And I don't think the community can be blamed for not rallying together. I think it was evident that the family couldn't even rally together. And I think that's exactly right. That's the breakdown point. It's too bad. That's right. This one here, guys, again, I'm going to make it big, and please take a screenshot, share it with your people. Let me get rid of my little banner temporarily. There we go. Take a little screenshot, share it with your people, and go for a walk. Take a video, pictures, anything, send it to me, and we'll show our support in our own way. Try to do something a little less YouTube-y for this poor boy. Anyone ever consider perhaps it was Malaya and Daniel why an Amber Alert wasn't issued? I don't know what you mean by that. I would say there were so many people with differences of opinion in a lot of situations. Lily and Jack were not the central focus. Sometimes it got totally out of control. I don't have the answers. I hope they find him, Robert. I have been thinking about the Amber Alert and the criteria and why they have it. What if it were something people could opt into, download an app or part of a phone service? That's another angle to look at it with these new alerts. There's definitely a huge difference in the education level as well as socioeconomic level. Also, the family turned on each other rather than staying focused on finding Jack and Lilly. So sad, yeah. Yep. Maybe they weren't presenting like panicked parents missing their children. Perhaps they were as aloof as what's been presented to us, but even more so. No, because that isn't a logical consideration. And again, the RCMP have commented on this. I'm not logical, but her first interview felt odd. But I thought maybe she was disconnected due to shock. Me too. After I learned or was told that she was dealing with postpartum mental illness, then she left and I started to pick apart whatever came of it. I hope my gut feeling is very wrong. I think a lot of us share that hope. Well, I think Parker was missing in a giant city, not the backyard. True. But in a giant city where, from experience, I do know that you are invisible there. For the most part. Neighbors don't wave anymore. You don't wave at passing traffic. You don't say hi to a stranger on the street. You're looked at sideways. My God, you don't want to be noticed half the time as fear of being attacked or assaulted. But the good people came together for Parker. There needs to be an alert created similar to a silver alert for older people, alert for missing kids, different from an Amber Alert. And that is what this Indigo Alert is that I posted before. I wonder if by what they said and how they behaved, I agree. So here is the link to that new petition. This is not Darius's law, you guys, but it's there in the chat for anybody that wants to go and sign it. And this is for the Indigo Alert. This is for vulnerable children. It's a step above the Vulnerable Persons Alert. It's going to help the public know when these vulnerable children go missing, and all of the stories that we talk about, Darius, Jack and Lilly, Dylan, they all would be covered under this alert system. So just as important as the Darius's law that we all signed for Amber Alert reform, this is definitely another big one. And yet he was able to leave the area, which blows my mind, under the cover of long grass, trees, whatever. He wasn't caught on camera a lot of the day. So look at all the pics of Parker that his family had, and we had to beg to see pics of Lily and Jack. Yeah. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So anyways, again, you guys, 8th and 9th of this month, this coming weekend, just do a walk. Dress in blue, do a walk, and just think about Parker and the vulnerable children. And, you know, and like I said, I'm trying not to bug April, but I want to make sure that something gets to that memorial from us. as a group. And either way, we'll make it happen. And hopefully somebody will be streaming from there, and we'll watch live tomorrow night. And I am going to talk to Belinda here shortly about having her on to discuss all that stuff we discussed earlier today. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for being here, everybody. It's been amazing. Sorry I was away for so long. And I'm going to go in and get Harley. It's only 10 after 4 here. Not supper time yet. Super early. Oh yeah, I got to find out why Ian's home. Anyway, okay. Have a good night, everybody.